Relocating! Is this not why you are here?
Greetings, faithful. Thank you for joining us again tonight. Once again, this is Larry Williams, OAW Commander-in-Chief, and I am joined tonight by my special guest. First and foremost, I want to go ahead and give a shout out to my man, Dragnauct. Tell the people what's happening.
Folks, some of y'all might have remembered me. I don't know, many years ago. I am much older and much wiser now. In fact, I adulted today. I feel so proud of myself. But anyway, I am here by request. I'm not sure why, but okay. If you guys want some practical life advice, I will put on my serious adulting hat and we will do the damn thing, folks. So thank you. I will call upon my extensive background of being a former combat medic in the Army, as being a minority working full-time for Lowe's and Home Depot, mortal enemies, being a husband, a father, traveling across the United States, and all kind of fun stuff, even surviving a hurricane if you want to go there. So you know what? I'm here to help. Let me help you.
Awesome.
Cool. Thank you, Dragnauct. That was a long. I was like, why are you listing your credentials? Anyway, I'm also joined tonight by my man, RandomBlackGamer. Tell him what's up to the people.
Man, it's kind of hard to follow that last one up, but yeah, this is your boy RBG, aka the Random Black Gamer, returning to the OAW Entertainment Podcast to give my insight on some of the things that are going to be covered in this topic. Hopefully, I can deliver something that'll actually help this brother out because, you know, I'm all about giving. Drink it in, man.
Yeah. All right.
And last but certainly not least, we are joined tonight by longtime OAW faithful and recently OAW patron. This is my man Trent, who has special requested an advice corner segment. So what we're going to do tonight, we're going to go ahead. I'm going to pass the mic over to my man Trent so that he can formally introduce himself to the audience, and then he can also go into some details about the topics we're going to be starting. The topic we're going to be talking about tonight. First, though, Trent, just real brief, give a shout out to the people, let them know a little bit about you, and actually, pretty much, I'd like to know, and I would also like for you to share with the audience exactly what prompted the advice corner request, because I know, like, we pretty much know what the topic is. You know, we've done our homework before the show, but I kind of want you to kind of share with the viewers and maybe some people who are considering pledging for an advice corner segment themselves. Like, what was it that was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and hit up my man Larry about that. So I'm gonna pass it over to you, Trent.
Okay. Well, I mean, shit, guys. After all three of those intros, I'm not really sure how to do mine or follow that up. But yeah, hello, guys. I'm Trent. I would say, Larry, I've been watching you for probably about 3 or 4 years now. Yeah, I'm a senior in college. Health science major, personal training focus. And the topic we're going to be talking about tonight, or that I requested your guys' help on, is I would say getting into the performing arts field, dance specifically, and I think Larry's probably going to be the most helpful with this one because he's got the most artistic background, you know, with visual arts and all that stuff. So yeah, we'll just go through all my questions here, and whatever happens, and hopefully it goes well.
Okay, Trent, appreciate that. All right, so for those of you all watching, now I do want to take a brief moment to mention this. So for those of you all watching, you've seen the title, and I went, because I got to come up with something colorful, I got to come up with something catchy, I got to come up with a title that will entice people to want to watch and whatnot. But honestly, I went back and I read your message, Trent, and when I read those questions, the title of the video just came to me, and I'm like, because I think they all stem from, I think they all stem from the same source. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I came up with the idea of don't fear the journey. And what's funny about that too is conceptually when I'm putting together, the settings and whatnot for the live stream, I'm thinking, I'm like, yeah, man, like that seems to kind of be, I think, like the overall umbrella sort of message, that I think Trent's looking for. It's like there's a fear of the journey. So my mind just started going, and then I purposely used the screenshot from The Hobbit, The Unexpected Journey, because it was the first thing that came to my mind. And I'm like, but what's funny is, if everything that you've told us in your message is true, Trent, to use an analogy, you're not Bilbo. You're Thorin. You're Thorin. You've already started preparing for the journey, but it seems like from some of your questions, you're afraid, like, okay, I got my people together, I got my shield, I got my sword, I'm ready to go take back the mountain, but what the hell am I going to do once I actually win? Like, once I slay Smaug, what's next? That kind of seems to be the problem I think you're faced with. But I'll let you go ahead and just kind of share, the particulars with the audience. Hold up, Trent. Your mic's out again.
So I just wanted to say that Larry Williams is the bestest YouTuber ever. Oh,
Don't do that. Don't do that, AJ. You know what? Because you can't behave.
Oh man.
Try unplugging your headphones and then plugging them back in.
I can hear him. It just sounds like he has a little static, like how it is with earphones. No, we can't hear you at all.
Yeah, how about now?
Yeah,
Yep,
you good.
Gotcha.
Okay. Okay, well, first of all, I gotta say, damn, Larry, the intro was like really inspiring, man. That hit me like right in the heart, But I would say, yeah. Well, yeah. Like I said, I'm a performing arts, soon to be performing arts student, because I want to go to grad school for dance specifically. And like I said, Larry, you're probably going to be the most insightful on this because of your, background in visual arts, and I feel it's at least somewhat related. So, I'm sorry, what did you say to do again? I kind of forgot what your questions were.
So essentially, I just wanted you to kind of give your spiel about like what the problem you're having, essentially.
Okay.
Just to get the ball rolling on the discussion, essentially,
Okay.
like the questions you have, the problem you're facing, the questions you have for us, and then we'll take it from there.
Okay. Well, my first question would be, if you remember, like, I remember you made a vlog back like, hell, I forget when it was, like maybe 5-6 years ago. And you're talking about your like situation in school and whatnot, your schedule and all that shit. So, and you're talking about like how being an art student kind of took it from being something that was fun to more of a chore. If you remember that video or not.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just wondering, like, how did you deal with that, and what's your experience, and if the other guys have anything to offer, they can as well.
Okay. Yeah. So essentially, like the way in which I interpret that question is essentially you're afraid of burnout, right? Like,
yeah.
Like what's going to, I have this thing that I love to do and I want to do it professionally.
Yeah.
What happens when it becomes my job and I just get tired of doing it all the time, right? Burnout.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the advice I can give you about that. It's going to happen. There's no way around it.
Right.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen just like it rains, Just like depending on where you are, it snows. Depending on where you are, there's hurricanes, earthquakes, volcano eruptions. You know, it's going to happen. I would say that what you want to do is you want to find exercises. You want to find exercises that you can do to keep you going whenever you experience that burnout, right?
Yeah.
So, a couple examples of what this could be. Now, yes, you are right that I do have some experience with this. As I jokingly said before the stream started, when my man AJ was like, "Yeah, Larry, you could probably talk on that first question a lot." And I'm like, "What, you talk about burnout?" He was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah, because I burn out every day." So the funny thing about that is, because it's something that I've experienced creatively. I mean, I think just about any type of creative person experiences burnout. That's where writer's block comes from.
Yeah.
That's what that is. That's burnout, right?
Yeah.
And then of course, perfect example, because we're talking about something physical. I know y'all done heard about Andrew Luck, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who?
And the quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts.
Oh yeah.
Well, Luck just retired at the ripe age of 29 because he is burnt out. He's totally burnt out. Mentally, physically, he's totally burned out, right? So here's the thing. Everybody gets burned out, right? But what you want to do is you want to develop some exercises, essentially some tricks for yourself to keep yourself motivated, to reinvigorate yourself. It would be very easy for me to say something like, "Oh, you know, if you do," this is kind of funny because I just had this discussion with a friend of mine last week where we were talking, because we were talking about my writing and whatnot, and I was talking about how, it's work. It's like I enjoy doing it, but it still feels like work. Just like when I'm painting, it's like I like painting, but it's work. Here's the thing though, it'd be very easy for me to just say, a bunch of fluff like, "Oh, but if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life, and you gotta remember, you gotta remember what it was that made you want to do it in the first night." Fuck all that shit. Fuck all that. Fuck all that.
Yeah.
No. What you need is tricks. Exercises to do to get you back in your zone. My exercise is simple. Coffee, music, and a third, which I won't mention because we're broadcasting live on YouTube, and I know a lot of people watch my videos. It's something that's not good for you, and you shouldn't do it, and it will kill you eventually. But,
Gotcha.
That's my ritual. That's my trick. If I'm having writer's block, go outside. I throw on Disturbed, 5-Finger Death Punch, Within Temptation. Who else?
Perfect Circle.
Perfect Circle. Yes.
I was joking.
No, I'm dead serious. Perfect Circle. I'm dead serious. The Outsider, the Apocalypse remix. Yep, that's exactly what I put on. And Counting Bodies to the Count Bodies Like Sheep to the Rhythm of the War Drum. That one too. Yes. And so, because essentially what I do, like when I'm getting burned out from writing or whatever, I just got to put myself back into the story, get out of the writing portion and get back to view it. I have to get into this thing as if I'm the consumer, as if I'm the viewer, as if I'm watching a movie. So what do? I use the caffeine because I know about the chemicals, and the drug and whatnot and how it affects me and all that type of stuff. And then another drug, which I won't mention right here on camera. And then I'm listening to music because it puts me in a place to where it's like, now I've gone from this creator mindset to a viewer mindset. And I'm just watching the movie and I'm watching what I'm writing play out the way I want to see it. And then once I take note of that, then I go back and it's like, all right, let me put all of that stuff back down, right?
Yeah.
So for you, since you dance, there has to be things, there has to be you have to find either exercises or tricks or something like that keeps you motivated to keep doing it. So maybe that thing is, let me ask you a question. Do you make your own dance routines?
Yeah, sort of. I mean, that's what I really want to do. You know, eventually, like long term. But I mean, yeah, because like with the classes I'm taking in college, yeah, that's like what we do for our final. And I mean, shit. I mean, there's tons of times where I've been, like, got, you know, if you,
Wait, hold up. You cut out again, Trey.
There you go. Now try. Still can't hear.
how about now?
Yeah.
Yep, we got you.
Okay, I apologize for this, guys. I'm using my shitty, worn out Apple headphones here. But
it's all good.
But yeah, like I was saying, I mean, yeah, like with like the classes I'm taking in college, you know, yeah, like for our finals, we have to either like do solos or do group performances that we make ourselves. And I mean, shit, there's tons of times where I've got, you know, like quote unquote dance block, if you will, and I hit walls all the time, you know. So for me, I think it's good for me. Something that works for me is to just like take a step back and just take a break from it and do some things like I already do some things you do, like you do, just exercise, just get on move, all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, yeah, I've pretty much already sort of been doing some of the stuff you said, but
that was the first thing that came to mind when I thought about it, because if you need an activity to kind of break away from the dance, but something that might still be related to it, it's like just go work out, like go work out or go run or watch other, like, who's your favorite dancer?
Well, I'm not sure I'm not sure how familiar you are with the dance community, but Twitch is a good one.
Oh yeah, I know Twitch.
Kita is another good one from the Academy of Villains. I'm not sure if you guys know who those guys are.
Who is that?
Well, I'm sorry.
What did you say?
Kita, you know, from the Academy of Villains.
Oh, never heard of that one.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of. But
Wait. Well, the reason I asked is because it's like maybe just go watch some of their stuff.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like just like on an afternoon, just kind of hang out and be like, you know, just watch some of their stuff. I mean that, and yeah, funny thing about that, dude, that helps with the motivation piece too. Like, there's a video that I like to watch a lot. I don't know if you ever saw this series. It's called The Blueprint, and I think it's actually a YouTube series. But Todd McFarlane is on an episode of The Blueprint, and I love watching that episode. Like whenever I start getting burned out, I go watch Todd and hear Todd talk about writing comics and making comics and creating comics and being an entrepreneur and stuff like that. Because, you know, because that just kind of gets me back in the right headspace. I used to also watch this show on IFC called The Director's Chair. And that was a series by Robert Rodriguez, where he would interview other directors. I used to watch that show all the time because I love hearing like the Guillermo del Toro episode is my favorite episode. The Francis Ford Coppola episode was another one of my favorites. But I like hearing those guys talk about like filmmaking. So I'm getting background noise.
That's amazing.
I don't think it's me because I can hear it too.
Oh, it's you, Trent. I think it's the feedback from the mic, from the headphones.
Yeah, how about now? We're
It's good.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely having a kind of an alternate task or maybe a personal goal that is well within your reach.
Right.
That's definitely something that you can set aside that, this is not work related. I can do this at my own pace, and then you can set little goals for yourself too. Like I'll learn 1/8 of this routine by this date. And so, you know what, you get through the work day and kind of relax, you're limber enough to kind of like, well, let me just work on this a little bit. And if I don't accomplish it, not a big deal, but might make some progress, and that'll add some pep to my step, the next day, because I can't wait till I come home to try and finish, another 1/8 maybe before my expected date. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. Yep. That's very good. And actually, Larry, it's a good thing you brought the show, the director's chair, up, because I'm actually taking a directing class right now, and that's helping me, see things in a whole new light, I guess you could say. So, because I'm getting new, like I'm learning different stuff, I'm seeing things in different lenses and all that, and that's really helping me, just get a whole new perspective on stuff, and it really helps me with my craft. So.
Oh, so you've seen that show?
No, I'm saying I'm taking a directing class in school right now.
Check that show out. It's really good. That one, and if you're into writing, I think it's called The Writer's Room. It also used to come on IFC. That was a pretty good, dude. That show, I remember the first episode of that I watched was with Robert Kirkman.
Mm-hmm.
And he was pretty much, talking about his career prior to The Walking Dead TV. Dude, Robert Kirkman's story I'm going to be real with you, dude. Robert Kirkman's story is the thing that keeps me on my journey. Because Kirkman, when The Walking Dead took off, man, that dude was, what was he, like over $60,000 in debt? Something like that. He was, I think, like late 30s, early 40s. Hell, dude. And then, I mean, there's a whole bunch of other stories I could go into, the fact like Stan Lee didn't even create the Marvel Universe until he was already after 40, older than 40, and so many other stuff, but this is not about me. So anyway, so yeah, it's like all of those things, like, real quick, before I give my final thoughts on that, Espa, did you have any like tips or tricks or advice for like dealing with burnout?
Like he mentioned that he was getting into that. What did you say, directing or?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's definitely good that you jump into other things besides your main interest, because it's going to help you exercise the mind, man. Like that's one thing that people don't take into consideration. Like when you're constantly doing like one thing and you invest all your time in it, your mind will start to get tired. You know what I'm saying? It's there's something within the human brain that has like this insatiable appetite to want to learn different things and want to jump into that. And one thing that I really want you to do is look within yourself and just develop good intentions of what you want. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's not something that you're really genuine about, getting into, you might want to just look within yourself and try to find something else. You got to find that inner voice. You know what I'm saying? Like, have y'all played Kingdom Hearts? I know Larry played Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I played a couple games.
Yeah, you remember that first stage on the game? Like when everything's black and everything, and you got like a spotlight on Sora and he's having to pick which weapon he wants to decide what kind of person he's gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like that,
Yeah.
Because I've dealt with certain situations, and like I've been in college and stuff and thought I wanted to do certain things that I, found out I didn't want to do because I didn't know myself. So I definitely want you to do that. Make sure that you know exactly what you want to do, because sometimes you can get burnt out just doing something that isn't necessarily for you. And if it is, and if it is for you, of course you're going to go through that burnout. But like I say, you just want to just try to like do other things, like listen to other people, like testimonies or whatnot, and see what they go through, because it's going to happen. Never be afraid to hustle either. I know that word has like a certain stigma behind it. always try to give your best when it comes to hustling and doing what you got to do, man. So yeah.
Yeah, and having a backup plan is kind of integral, especially if you're in the entertainment industry and fine arts. Like it's a tough world. Like you're gonna have to really, like you said, work with hustle and try to make those connections, because if you don't, it's gonna be hard to really break out.
Yeah.
And it's nothing. Don't feel like you somehow are just stuck because you have stagnated. Now there's a difference between someone being temporarily stuck and then you just completely stagnate, right? So if you run into a roadblock, you know what? Debt's a little bit too high right now. Uh, Opportunities kind of drying up. Then you know what? Let me take a step back, reevaluate my plan, maybe do something else. You know what? Just get a regular 9 to 5, go back to the drawing board, and it may take a year or two, and you get right back on it. I'm now on my pathway to being a scientist. I would have never thought that I would have been a scientist until something in my life changed, and it's funny as it is, it was me climbing a mountain. Man, it seems silly. It seems, well, why all of a sudden would climbing a mountain, enable you to be like, what's the connection there? I thought I was bad at math. So okay, well, still that doesn't make sense. If you can climb a mountain, if you can physically and mentally get over
AJ,
this path.
real quick.
Yeah.
Is that you? Is that you with the background noise?
No, I think it might be
Hang on a sec. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So you might have to. It sounds funny. Like, what does climbing a mountain have to do with math? What to do with being a scientist? I thought that I was precluded from that pathway because I thought I was bad at math. But if you can mentally get over the task of having to strenuously force yourself up a landform when you could fall off and die potentially, if you can master that, you can do anything. You've conquered fear in a way. So I said, well, if I can do that, surely I can pass a 9 to 10 weeks of a doggone math class. And so I did it. I went through it and I accomplished it. So I said, okay, well, let's see what else I can accomplish. But that was several years in between me kind of realizing where I should be in life as opposed to where I was. And sometimes, unfortunately, it takes scenarios like that or instances like that. But don't think that it's somehow too late. I'm at least 10 years older than a lot of the other students I'm around, but I don't care. Like in a lot of ways that's an advantage. So don't let that be something that gets you down either.
And definitely, I always say that your accomplishments are products of your thoughts. So, and I know we all have accomplishments. It's always, I think, in my opinion, always important to go back and look at the stuff that you've already accomplished to sort of motivate yourself to keep on going. Because, like, man, I ain't gonna lie to you, like, as successful as a YouTuber as I have been over the years, I always experience writer's block because I have to script videos. And sometimes, sometimes when I script those videos and I go through the rigorous process of editing, I upload that video just to get a small reaction and not the desired reaction that I want. I always get discouraged, but I try to go back and look at all the things that I have accomplished to sort of reinvigorate my passion. You know what I'm saying? So the burnout won't last that long. Mm-hmm. You always got to go back and take a look at some of the stuff that you've already accomplished and, just find that confidence within yourself.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's funny that you bring up, because, dude, that's another one. Anybody watching this video knows that I've experienced YouTube burnout. How else could you just take 2 years off of YouTube, just vanish, right? Dude, I've experienced so much burnout with YouTube. It's ridiculous, dude. It's not even funny. But here's the funny thing about that too, because another funny thing about burnout, right? When you're talking about like dealing with, especially if the burnout is coming from one of your passions, right? It's one thing if it's a 9 to 5, this is a day job, because you go home, you just don't deal with that stuff. You're only there 5 days a week or whatever. It's different
Yeah.
when it's your main thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the funny thing about that, to use YouTube as an example, right? Because I've experienced so much burnout on YouTube, it's ridiculous, right? But I'm often reminded about that a lot of the times the things we are the most passionate about are also the things that we do for others. And so what I mean by that is you have plenty of people who just work regular day jobs. You know why they're there. A lot of times they're there just for the check. But when you're doing something that you don't necessarily get paid for, that's different. And then at that point, that's when you notice that, especially if it's something like YouTube, let you do YouTube and not make any money off of it for any prolonged period of time, right? Because when I first started on YouTube, you don't make money off of it. Nope. You had to be a big channel back then in order to make any type of decent money off of it, right? Yeah. And now you have to be freaking Jenna Marbles in order to make any money, right? And I don't even know how much she's making, to be honest with you. But
I don't know.
But the thing is, you start noticing how the things you do are done for other people. So what I mean by that is I can sit up here and I can talk about, YouTube this, YouTube that, ad revenue this, copyright strike that, this is that and the third, all this type of stuff. But when cats like you, Trent, I'm gone for 2 years, I come back and y'all just start dropping 10, 20 bucks in a super chat. And I'm like, what? Like, what? And then I start up the Patreon and
you're welcome, by the way.
Thank you so much. But what I'm saying is, it's like, I get reminded when people, when I see that people still support me.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that I was gone, despite the fact that I was burned out, despite the fact that I pulled a Dave Chappelle, flew to Africa, not literally, but you get the analogy I'm making, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, you come back, the people are still there. Some of them been waiting. That type of thing will kind of puts things in perspective for you and remind you, why it is you do what it is you do. That helps also with dealing with the burnout. But what I wanted to say that's pretty much going to sum up my thoughts on this particular question is, did you pose the question because you're already feeling burnout, or are you worried about burnout?
No, I mean, I've already kind of went through it somewhat already, and I've gone through it and I've dealt with it, and I'm stronger for it. But I'm just worried about if it's going to happen. Like, it's going to get to a point where I just can't recover from it. Something like that. I guess what you're trying to say.
I would say, but at that point, if it ever gets to that point, then that means it's ran its course.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That means like Andrew Luck. I'm bringing Andrew Luck back up. Andrew Luck had 4 major injuries, and then finally he just couldn't do it anymore. And at that point, then it's time to walk away. But I don't think you're there yet. It doesn't sound like it.
Oh no, God, hell no.
I would also go as far as to say that I think that when you get to that point, when it's like the final burnout, you'll know. You'll know. It won't. There won't be no doubt, you will know. I think that's it.
Yeah, exactly. You will definitely know when it's time to move on to something else because your intuition, man. You got, I think every creative genius or a successful person has that intuition that they developed over time. They sowed the seeds, and those seeds have kind of blossomed into something where they understand who they are, what they want to do. And if you're really genuine about this and you really want to do it, then, that burnout is going to be nothing to you. And there's also the other things that you got to avoid is like the surrounding noise, the noise around you, the outside voices that tell you, oh, do this, do what I'm doing.
Oh my God. I'm so happy you brought that up because Jesus Christ, if I've been dealing with that in my life so bad. But Yeah. So, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, you good, man. You good. Like
Yeah.
get your frustrations, or if you see. But yeah, that outside voice, man, it's like a static noise that's gonna interfere with your intuition if you don't listen closely to yourself instead of the other people.
Oh shit, yeah.
Never settle, because that's what a lot of people do. They settle, they get stuck.
Yeah.
They end up doing the same stuff that everybody else is doing, and you want to try to be you, do you.
Yeah.
I would definitely double down on that, and I would say for all the static, fuck them. And I mean that, Trent. Before you hopped into the hangout, me, Esper, and AJ was talking, and I was telling them a story about barbell front lunges.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Trent, I won't go into the story, but pretty much, let me put it to you like this. If they aren't doing what you are doing, or if they haven't done what you have done, to quote Jay-Z, do what I've done without crying in the environment in which I did it in without dying, my nigga. What I'm saying is, if they're not doing what you're doing, or if they haven't done what you've done, they're not qualified to tell you shit.
Hell
so
yeah.
fuck them. Seriously.
Hell yeah.
Seriously.
Talk to him, Larry. Talk to him.
I feel shameful for this one, but it's a good quote. I gotta bring it up. I'm gonna quote my man Bishop T.D. Jakes on this one. I know y'all bear with me. Hey, T.D. Jakes is right on this quote though. He said, "You will never be defeated by what other people say about you. You will only be defeated by what you say about you. Mm-hmm. What you think, that's the only thing that matters. That's it."
Right. Yeah.
And I would also double down by one of my favorite quotes: "If they not paying your rent, fuck them."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Oh, hell yeah.
That is reasonable. Yeah.
Parents mean well, but they're old and their primary roll with me now, dude. Parents. No, I'm glad you feeling me, but roll with me on this one. Yeah. Parents mean well, but they're old, and their major concern for their children is not necessarily prosperity; it's security. So parents may hold you back just because they don't want to see you get hurt. They would rather you be secure than to see you potentially mess up. But you got to go out there. You got to take your risks. You got to take your bumps, your lumps, your bruises. You got to take them shots, not just shots, but shots. You got to take your shots, just like your pops did, like your granddaddy did, like your great granddaddy did. If they made the most of themselves, at some point in time, they took their shots too. You gotta take your shots too. The thing is, don't let your parent. But here's the thing, and this is going back to the whole fear thing. Your parents ain't the ones that's supposed to give you the permission to go out and take those shots.
Right.
Your friends, your significant other, your teachers, your mentors. No, you have to give yourself the permission to go and take them shots. All right. So we are way over time, but we are going to go ahead and we're going to talk about this the second question that you had, Trent. And what's funny is, Trent, you picked the right panel to talk about that second question because neither me, nor Dragnauct, nor RandomBlackGamer live in the city or even the state in which we were born. None of us. Okay. Neither three of us.
All right, cool.
And Dragnauct actually is the best suited for this question. So Trent, real quick, go ahead, tell the audience and just, refresh the panel what the second question you got is.
Okay. Yeah, so it's pretty simple. I was just wondering, how did you guys, since Larry, you just said all three of you have moved, a great distance from, what your home state is or wherever it is you're from. I mean, I know Larry, I know you're from Louisiana, but as far as like Esper and AJ, I don't really know where you guys are from, and that's because I don't really know much about you. So sorry about that. But yeah, my second question was really just how'd you guys deal with that, and how'd you get settled into your wherever your living environment is now?
Do you want me to go first or AJ?
Sure, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so it's kind of weird because all three of us are from Louisiana. I'm thinking, I think Alfred is from Louisiana, right?
Yeah, we're all from Louisiana.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like, we're all.
Oh hell, yeah.
Yeah, I'm from Slidell. Yeah.
So, you know what that tells you? You know what that tells you?
What's that?
Anybody that got if you have lived in Louisiana and you from Louisiana, you know to get the fuck up out of Louisiana.
And I also want to say that if you're from Louisiana, you can live anywhere.
Yeah. That's true too.
It's like shit. We're still a slave state, from a systematic perspective, because we have the highest incarceration rate. But no, like
the taxes. The taxes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, don't get me started on. Don't get me started on taxes. Go ahead. Don't get me started.
No, I mean, well, I think that comes with experience, man. It's like you're gonna have to get your toes wet. Like you're gonna have to tiptoe out there, and then you're gonna have to start, taking baby steps to big boy steps, and actually get your toes wet and get up out of there, man. Mm-hmm. I always, try to, go somewhere out of your comfort zone, because that's basically what I did, and I'm pretty sure Larry did that, especially being a Katrina victim, where he had to move.
Yeah.
So like you're just gonna have to find it within yourself to try to, expand your horizons to places. And then when you get comfortable enough, you just start, traveling, going out, looking for certain things to get into. Yeah. And then, you'll know when you need to move. Mm. You'll feel more comfortable about it. Excuse me.
Yeah. Cause I've already traveled a fair bit. I've been to, several states in the country. I've been out of the country. I've been to, I love traveling. Don't get me wrong, but I have to ask real quick. Would you guys say that Louisiana is worth going to as a vacation spot?
Yeah, certain areas.
Yeah,
a vacation spot.
Yeah.
If you're spending maybe 3 or 4 days there, because I went back during the last Mardi Gras, so yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah, so like New Orleans area.
Yeah. I would say if you're gonna visit New Orleans, Mardi Gras, obviously.
Oh yeah.
But Christmas, cause what is it? Christmas with the Oaks in City Park. Yeah, that's pretty cool to check out. Halloween, right? When you do the haunted house tour with all the different historical landmarks that are supposedly haunted. So yeah, Halloween. And shout out to Lafayette Festival International. Jazz Fest. Yeah, well, okay, so here's the thing, but you got to choose, because it seems like from what I've noticed the last few years, Festival International in Lafayette and Jazz Fest in New Orleans are around the same time. So you might, like, if you decide to go like in April, like late April, early May, you might have to pick between the two. It depends on where they fall, but they've been happening roughly around the same time. Another thing about Halloween, Voodoo Fest. That's been popular. Like Voodoo Fest, dude, it was over whenever Eminem was there with Ozzy Osbourne in like 2008, bro. Ever since then, they've been landing big names every year. So Voodoo Fest, that's in October. Essence Fest is in July. Good luck with that shit, cause good luck trying to get a hotel during Essence Festival. That's all I'm saying. And of course, one of the best times of the year in New Orleans, Saints season. Football season, baby. Who that? Yeah,
Oh, man, I've got him started on something.
I'm just saying, man. Hey. We see next. I'm sorry, no. Monday after Labor Day, Season opener in the Dome against the Texans. Just saying. Who that? All right. So, but yeah, like real quick about the whole moving piece, though, dude. It's like, now for the record, I did have just to clarify about the whole Katrina piece. Like, I had to move around for Katrina, but no place that I wasn't familiar with. Because when Katrina hit, we evacuated to the country where my aunt lived, which I had been there before. I just had never gone to the school out there, and I was only at the school for like 2 weeks. And then I ended up going back home because my parents, their houses weren't damaged. We were lucky. Our houses weren't damaged. But I did have to switch schools. I had to go to a school outside of New Orleans. I had to go to a completely different school district. That was different. And halfway through high school, like that was like halfway through my junior year, I had to end up switching schools. So yeah, that was kind of different. But nothing that, that just happens when you're young and you're growing up and stuff like that. But in terms of like me moving like from New Orleans, I moved to Lafayette because I went to school out there, and then deciding to move over to San Antonio, dude, I just got tired of living in Lafayette. And it wasn't even Lafayette itself necessarily, because all my friends was in Lafayette. I'm gonna tell you that was the biggest thing that sucked about moving. I was leaving all my friends. I was leaving all of them. What kind of pushed me out the door though was my best friend. Shout out to my man Bryce Duncan. Dude, I had a Goodwill Hunting moment where he told me straight up, he's like, Larry, go. He's like, it'd be a waste of your fucking time if you still here in like 10 years. Get out of here. Go. And I was like, fuck it. I went. I quit. And I remember that too. Because I had moved right after. I decided to move when I quit my last job in Lafayette. I quit my job in Lafayette. Mardi Gras Day 2016. I was in San Antonio 2 weeks later. I just packed my shit up and I left. I'm like, fuck it. Now I'll admit it was a little bit easier because I had family out here. So, and I stayed with my family for a while. But eventually, once you get your bearings, then it's like, all right, it's time for me to make a move on my own. And then you go and you do that. Yeah. And so you just keep it moving.
Yeah. I think you need what's going to make you comfortable moving is familiarity. Like actually going a place, kind of going around a little bit. Like I say, being familiar with a spot and just doing it. Because I think that's what helped me out a lot, because I'm in North Louisiana, which Larry considers not real Louisiana, not real South.
That's South Arkansas, man.
So, like, Texas is so close by. It's like a hop and a skip. I started off in Marshall, Texas, and I ended up in Dallas, which is like 3 hours away from where I originally stayed at. And I just kept going there. I kept coming over here, seeing how everything was till I got familiar with it to where it felt like a second home,
Right, yeah.
Sometimes you got to get used to the environment that you're, prepping to move to. I know it's going to be a little difficult depending on where you are and where you're going, like the miles or whatever, but that.
Yeah, I can talk about that a little bit, but I'll let you finish first.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Okay, well, because I'm in North Ohio right now, like Toledo area. If you guys know Ohio at all.
I think you might. No. You good? You good? We can still hear you.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm in Northern Ohio, and California is of course where I want to go. But I've got family in like Colorado, so I think what I could do, maybe spend time out there, travel to California, get familiar with the area, and then eventually just.
Hold up, Trent. You cutting out a little bit.
Hey, we good?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Just repeat that last sentence.
Yeah. No. I just said that, like, maybe spend time in Colorado with the family I have out there, and then, get familiar with Southern California, and then eventually settle down there, make my move there.
There you go.
Yeah, so because you're going to be moving for school, right?
Because my plan was to, I'll graduate, I'll finish my undergrad, and then eventually I want to go to school in UCLA eventually. So I'm gonna have to move eventually, regardless.
That helps though. That helps though because
Yeah.
Question: Are you from Ohio originally?
Yes. Yep.
So you went to a local school?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So when you move in all the way to the West Coast, if you're moving for school, that helps the transition a lot because you're surrounded by people who did the same thing you did.
Right.
So like you're gonna meet people from New York, Mississippi, Florida, Michigan. You're gonna meet people from all over the country. Hell, you're gonna meet people from all over the world who did the same thing you did. That's gonna be in some of your same classes. So that helps a lot because there's already a community there. So yeah, that's gonna help you a lot.
Yeah, and I mean, like my other plan was, there's a studio that does like a whole bunch of film and professional entertainment work that's there, and I think they actually have like some sort of internship program that they do with UCLA. So hell, like it's a no-brainer at that point.
Yeah, and in that type of environment, you'll find your herd, if you will, really fast. Really fast.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna pass this off to AJ because AJ Dragnauct, man, he got the most. This boy done lived everywhere. Damn it.
I lived in Louisiana, Mississippi, let's see, North Carolina, Texas, California. Yeah, I've lived a few places. Yeah, so
I'm gonna use this little diagram just so everybody can see where we're going. But I think this is in reverse. Yeah. Okay. So just bear with me on this one. Louisiana. Where else? We're from Louisiana because we did this last night. Come on.
Oh yeah, we did. Okay, from Louisiana to Mississippi, right?
Okay.
So we went to Mississippi, then we went to North Carolina, right? And then North Carolina moved back down to Louisiana, back to Slidell, right? Then Hurricane Katrina happened, then went and finished high school back up in North Carolina, came back to Mississippi, did community college, then moved to Louisiana to do ULL, and then joined the Army from there, and then went to train in Texas, and then got shipped from Texas to California. Then from California, actually I missed the state, but from California, then went to Maryland. Stayed in Maryland for 3 or 4 years, and then finally moved back down here to Texas. Yeah. So I've been around a little bit. So
drifter, nomad.
Yeah, my mother for some reason just likes to move around a lot. She never likes to stay in one house for more than like 5 years. I don't know what it is, but like she's running from the cops or something. But it's so when you are in California, mind you, I visit California every 2 or 3 years because it's an interesting place. If you are not used to people being outside, like lots of people being outside, and people just kind of working out and doing group events, it's going to be kind of jarring. There's just a lot of people out there doing a lot of stuff, especially near like San Diego. Everybody's into fitness, everybody's into health, and you're going to see menus are going to always have vegan stuff on it. They're always going to definitely try and push that. Like that is a part. They are a separate culture than the rest of America. And you kind of either are rid of it or you're not. But there's usually a circle for people who are into fairly niche things. It's just about going out and networking and kind of making an effort because there's a group for everything. It's just if you're the type of person who wants to go to one of the sex stores across the street from where everyone goes to get their breakfast from because of a breakfast nook place, then you know what? Then that's I'm not making that up. That's literally what happened. Me and my buddies just woke up after drinking and shit, and went to the pretty, well-known breakfast place down in San Diego, and then across the street where it's a sex shop, and it's just there were people in there having sex, and it's just weird, like, but it is what it is, right? And so it is it's best that you kind of go there to visit to get a feel of kind of how the environment is,
Right.
because it'll be less jarring, and definitely get acclimated to the temperature and the humidity, because that can definitely have an impact on your stay there, especially given its proximity to the ocean. So
I step away for 2 minutes and he talking about sex shop.
no, I'm just giving you an example like this. Because usually in places like Louisiana, that kind of stuff is on the outskirts. That's on the out.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Have you ever been to the French Quarter?
Okay, outside of the French Quarter, I'm most in like Lafayette. Like you were going like toward Cairn Crow, or you going toward what you call them out there?
I just laughed at that dude. I was a kid the first time I saw my first sex shop, because it was across the street from where my dad played in the French Quarter.
Yeah, well, New Orleans is unique. That I'm just talking about like in Lafayette or something like that. Like you got to go like to the outskirts. They'll usually try and push that out. But yeah, it'll be out there with everything else. So it just kind of depends on what you're used to. Because it is a very, very different environment. If you're used to, like I'm used to Southern food, I'm used to stuff having flavor. You know what? There's some things that California does good, and other things that it doesn't. So
they don't use their damn food.
They will try to imitate other people's food, and sometimes they do a good job, and sometimes not. So fine.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, as I said, find what interests you. You already know what interests you. You know what dance stuff interests you. Go ahead and look that stuff up before you even go there, and see how you can kind of get in on that scene. As far as a recreation, that'll help with the burnout too, right? Because that's everything in California is about networking. A huge any industry in huge networking. Find as many possible, even if you're introvert, just try your best to save up enough kind of social energy to go out and network with people, because that's something that's going to be invaluable.
Yeah, because like I've heard California is like a very schmoozy. It's a very networky place, and it's like all about who you know and all that BS, and
Yeah, no, that's definitely true. Definitely true.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So I think that pretty much covered it, gentlemen.
Yeah.
What do you think, Trent?
Yeah, I think we're good.
Okay. And any more questions, man, in general, or?
I'm trying to think here. Well, let me just say this. I mean, I would say, Larry, like the reason why I've been following you for as long as I have is because I definitely feel like you're like a very real person. Like you don't bullshit anybody. You're very real. Like I'm talking super real. So a little passionate person. You're very animated. But that's good. That's good stuff. That's what you need.
Appreciate that. Thank you. That's what I be trying to tell people. It's like people think I be putting on the show. It's like a little bit, but nah, this ain't too much different than what you see in person. But no, man. I mean, look, Trey, I'm glad you reached out. I hope we were actually able to give you some pretty good feedback and whatnot. I was kind of anticipating that this probably wouldn't be like anything quote unquote new. But here's the thing, dude. And it's kind of funny enough. It's kind of the thing that kept me interested in doing the Advice Corner segment to begin with. I find that probably a good 90% of the time, 9 times out of 10, when most people like quote unquote need advice, all they really need is just affirmation of what they already know.
Right.
Yeah.
You just need to hear it from a different source.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Like I find that most people, the fact that they're even asking the right questions means that they already know what the answer is. They're just unsure. Like they don't have that confidence in the answer, so they just need to hear it from someone else. Because if they can, especially if it's someone they trust or someone they admire, if that person came to the same conclusion they came to, all of a sudden now their faith is reinforced in that idea.
Right.
So, go ahead.
No, sorry. I'm just saying that. I mean, that's kind of the reason why I wanted this to be public, because like if I ever need the affirmation, I can always just come back to this video and just rewatch it and
That's
boost
right.
my morale.
Yeah. And like I said, man, it's not going to happen all at once. Very, very seldom do things just always work out. I've gone through. This is probably my third research opportunity. And because the first two have been busts, and so I was like, you know what, it sucks, and I'm kind of a little upset because after I told folks, I was going to be doing this, and then later, I don't know, I don't have a good story. It just evaporated in the thin air. It's kind of disconcerting, but it's life. That's just literally life, and so I'm not going to use those examples as parts of my success story, but if people ask me, what was the process like? Honestly, it's filled with road bumps, and that's how it works. It is, there are people who are along the way are just going to just simply discard and discount anything that you do, no matter how great of a plan that you have, no matter how good that you've researched it. And those are the people you don't need to listen to. The people that you probably should listen to, and this is just me personally, people who listen, who understand, who are trying to offer constructive criticism on how to make the plan better, right? And their first response is to say, no, you should forget it. That's stupid. No, they don't have your best interest in mind.
Right. And you can do what I do and listen to the naysayers and use that as your fuel.
Oh, yeah, that'll galvanize you. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, taking that energy, man, and just converted it into like work ethic, like hard work, like we're just working hard when you're passionate about something is the best work ever.
Right.
I say, never look at hustling as a negative stigma of overworking yourself. Look at it as something that's going to attribute to what you're passionate about. And never be afraid to fail. I think public perception is what really gets us. We always worried about what will happen, what could possibly happen, instead of just grabbing that keyblade and taking that journey, getting off of that island, experiencing all these different worlds, if you know what I mean.
Going all Naruto and Rock Lee on them.
Right.
Never give up,
Yeah, believe it.
Yeah, but believe it, dare I say.
Believe it. Dude, I put it to you like this, especially because once again, that's why I titled the video, don't fear the journey. Because I think both of these things, this sort of like, I wouldn't say that it was so much a hesitancy you had, but it was a concern, right? Like you were concerned. But that stems from fear. It stems from fear. And fear, dude, that's not going to go anywhere. That's a constant thing. It's always going to be there. The threat for burnout is always going to be there. The fear of the unknown is always going to be there. But like you said, you just went through burnout and you got over it that first time. Okay. One down. Do it again. And then you just get up, and then next time it happens, you do it again. You do it again. You do it again to the point where you become a pro at it, where you can see it coming. And it's like, you know what? Goddamn burnout right there. Nah, I'm going to go fishing today. Skip the gym. I'm going fishing. I'll make it up tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? And then But that's the thing, dude. It's like you just got to deal with the fear. And I understand that, fear is a big thing. We all go through it. Lord knows I go through it. But I like to remind myself of this because I do like to be animated. I put it to you like this. What's the worst thing that can happen to you?
Yep. It's 4 words. Things could be worse.
No, well, let's be real about this. The worst thing that could possibly happen to you in any given situation is you die. So if you're not dying.
Yep. And since we're on the topic of death, just imagine like you're on your deathbed. Do you really want to just be sitting there thinking to yourself, damn, I could have done this. Damn, I could have done that.
Hell no, I do not.
Yeah, so just do it,
Yeah, and I feel like when it comes to that kind of mentality, like you're either born with it. It's like it's not something that can be taught. Like you're either born with it or you're not.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Having the just having that mentality, like you don't care what people think, like you're just willing to.
That's a lie.
Yeah, I mean,
You can learn that.
Yeah,
you can learn that.
Like I say, that outside noise can really jeopardize your growth.
Okay.
You could totally learn that. You could totally learn that. You just got to practice it.
Right.
That's what it is. You have to constantly practice it.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Dragnauct said earlier, he wasn't good at math. That's something he had to practice. Shit, I used to be terrible at math when I was a kid. That was my worst subject. Now I do mental math like it's nothing.
And as I said earlier, sometimes it's about how you approach it. Certain things people can't teach you how to do. You can't show somebody how to do it like you. You can only do it like yourself.
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That because that's the least complicated way of doing stuff, not actually taking everything step by step and looking at stuff like somebody else does it. You got to have your own flavor.
Mm-hmm.
That's true too. Sometimes you ain't got to bother with the single hand Rasengan. Fuck that. Make a shadow clone. Use 2.
There you go. Exactly.
Did you do it? Did it achieve the same result? Then who gives a fuck how you did it? Did you get the same results? Did you get the result you wanted? Who cares how it was done?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much it. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
Ignore the naysayers. Or hang on, I gotta say it the way I would normally say it. Fuck the naysayers, because I don't know if we done lost monetization or whatever. Fuck
Just
the
assume it's
naysayers.
gone.
We'll just assume it's gone. Fuck the naysayers. All right. Find your own method.
Mm-hmm.
And if you didn't die, take the risk. If you're not going to die, take the risk. Because it won't kill you. That's it.
I mean, I could go all Kelly Clarkson right now and start singing, but I'm not going to do that. Yeah. But,
all right. So Trent, you got anything else for us? Any final thoughts, closing thoughts?
I mean, thank you guys for taking your time out to, help do this for me, and I appreciate all the info you've given me, and I pretty much got it all written down over here, so I can, like I said, keep coming back to it, keep boosting my morale whenever I need to. Yeah, I think we did the damn thing.
Oh yeah, we definitely went in.
Mm-hmm.
I know I was a little all over the place with my analogies and shit, so I apologize about that.
You're good.
All right. Well, hopefully people can get something out of this, and maybe do some more of these.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd like to see the segment come back regularly. I say that almost kind of like, do I really want to? Because when I was still doing it the old way, when we would do it through email, dude, there were quite a few emails I never got around to. But doing it this way, where it's all through the Patreon, it's a lot easy. It's way more easier to keep track of than it was with the email system. Because sometimes either I'd get them and I forget about them, or sometimes they would go directly to the spam folder and I wouldn't even know I got them. So, but Patreon streamlined a lot of stuff in terms of the content and whatnot, and it helped sort of kind of regiment things a little bit better, organize things a little bit better, and that's what I'm happy for. So, for any of you all watching, if you have a problem, a situation, hell, even if you got, maybe it's some ideas that you got about something and you just want, somebody to throw the ideas around with and, see what sticks or anything like that, check out the OAW Patreon page at patreon.com/OAW. Hit up the Advice Corner tier. It's only $20. You get to have either a private or broadcasted hangout with myself. I can't guarantee other guests because that's kind of on, okay, who's available at the time. But you will get a hangout with me, either private or broadcast, your choice, We chop it up about whatever your problem or topic is. And then with addition to that, you also get all of the other perks from the previous tiers, such as access to any Patreon exclusive material, access to the OAW vault, all of that just for $20. So feel free, check it out. Link is in the description box below. And with that being said, once again, I want to take this time to thank Trent for pretty much sponsoring this video, for coming up with the topic for this video, coming up with the content for it. I want to thank him once again for being a loyal OAW patron, as well as an OAW faithful, longtime faithful. Appreciate you supporting the channel and whatnot. And with that being said, go ahead, Trent.
No, I was just saying no problem, but I got two quick bits. Well, yeah, two things real quick.
What's up?
I said, would you be willing to do that taco assemble for me real quick?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Yo, I got to do that. All right. I'm going to do it on the outro. All right.
Okay,
I'm going to do it on the outro.
Gotcha.
All right. But guess what, though? Because you remember how we used to do it, right?
Yeah.
So everybody got to do it.
Yeah.
Everybody got to do it. We're going to time it, right?
I'm cool with that, yeah.
Guess I'll raise my invisible arms.
Now, Esper, I know you've done it before. I'm trying to remember. No, AJ, you've done it before too, right?
Yes, I've done it before.
Before.
We were on Skype.
It's the left fist, not the right one. It's the left one.
Okay.
All right. So, with that being said,
you lose some. I'm sorry. I was looking at AJ and I thought about Friday when he brought up his fist.
Oh yeah. So with that being said, this has been Larry Williams, OAW Commander-in-Chief.
This has been RBG, aka the Random Black Gamer, hitting you guys up on another OAW podcast.
It's been Dragnauct Sylvas here because I was asked and because I'm definitely not being paid in Scooby snacks.
And this has been Trent, aka Jax5678 on Instagram, Twitter, and I think YouTube, but I think I might have changed my name a couple months ago. So, yeah, whatever the hell that is.
And thank you for joining us on another Advice Corner right here on OAW Entertainment, formerly known as
Otaku Assemble
Weekly. And we are signing off. Catch y'all later. Keep an eye out. Because I got jammed up last night because my damn internet service went out on me for like a good 3 hours. My review of American Psycho, that is coming up later this week. And I will actually go ahead and announce this now. The next review following that one is going to be Stardust. Both of those reviews are coming out later this week, so keep an eye out for those. And until next time, peace.
Peace.
Later.
Peace.
All right.